What if I told you that the secret to helping manage your blood sugar could be sitting right in your kitchen pantry? We're talking just half a spoonful of something taken right before a meal. Sounds way too simple to be true, right? Well, let's dive in and see how this one little thing can become a huge tool for your health.
This is such a common and honestly a super frustrating question. You're doing what you're supposed to do, you're taking your medicine, you're trying to be careful, but those numbers, they just don't seem to budge. So why is that? Well, it often boils down to one simple idea. Diabetes is really a lifestyle disorder. That means that while medicine is a critical tool, our day-to-day habits have a massive and direct impact.
Okay, so before we jump into all the solutions, let's just quickly cover the why behind all of this. Because, when you actually understand what's happening inside your own body, you're not just blindly following a set of rules, you're actually empowered to make smarter choices. And that is the first real step to taking back control. So, what even is blood sugar? The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's your body's fuel. It's the gasoline for your engine. When you eat foods with carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into this amazing fuel source called glucose. That glucose then gets into your bloodstream to power, well, everything. Your brain, your muscles, the whole shebang. So you've got all this fuel in your bloodstream, but how does it get out of the blood and into the cells where it's actually needed? For that, you need a key, and that key is a hormone called insulin. Insulin's job is to literally unlock the doors on your cells to let the glucose in. But in diabetes, that whole key system is broken. It's like you either don't have enough keys or the locks on your cells have gotten all rusty and the key just won't turn. The result is the same. The sugar gets trapped outside, stuck in your blood. And why is that a big deal? Well, think about what would happen if you poured syrup into your car's engine. It would gum everything up, right? It's kind of like that. Over time, that excess sugar floating around can cause serious damage to all the tiny, delicate systems in your body, like in your eyes, your kidneys, and your nerves. This is exactly why getting it under control is so incredibly important for your long-term health.
All right, enough about the problem. Let's get to the good stuff, the solutions. And you know what? The single most powerful tool you have at your disposal is right there on your dinner plate. Let's talk about how to make food your greatest ally in this fight. Check this out. This is such a powerful but simple trick. On the left, you can see what happens when someone eats a slice of pizza all by itself. Whoosh, you get this huge, rapid spike in blood sugar. But now look at the right. This is what happens when you eat a simple, fiber-rich salad before that exact same slice of pizza. See the difference? The spike is so much smaller, much more gradual. Just changing the order you eat your food can make a world of difference. So what's the magic behind that? It's fiber. Specifically soluble fiber, the kind you find in fruits and vegetables. When you eat it, it mixes with the water in your stomach and forms this thick, viscous gel. Think of it like a net. This gel traps the sugars and carbs, which means they get released into your bloodstream way, way more slowly. It's basically a natural speed bump for sugar. All right, on to our next ally, protein. Here's a great way to picture this. Eating carbs by themselves is like throwing a handful of dry leaves on a fire. They flare up super fast and then they're gone in a flash. That's your sugar spike and crash. But when you add protein, it's like putting a solid log on that fire. It burns slow and steady for a long time. Protein digests much more slowly and it slows down the carbs along with it, giving you a nice controlled release of energy. Okay, so using fiber and protein to build a stable metabolic fire is a fantastic strategy. But what if I told you that you could fight high blood sugar without even getting out of your chair? Yeah, for real. Let's look at a surprisingly effective technique you can do pretty much anywhere. It's called the soleus push-up. Now, the soleus is a pretty powerful muscle deep in your calf. And what makes this exercise so unique is that this muscle can pull glucose directly from your bloodstream for energy, without needing any insulin to do it. Think about that. That makes it an incredibly efficient way to lower your blood sugar, especially right after a meal. It's like a little sugar vacuum you can turn on anytime. And it's ridiculously simple to do. You just sit comfortably, feet flat on the floor, keep the balls of your feet planted, and just lift your heels up as high as you can. Then slowly lower them back down. That's it. That's the whole move. You can do this at your desk, while you're watching TV, pretty much anytime you're sitting. It's such an easy habit that can make a huge difference. So combining these smart food strategies with simple movements creates a really powerful defense. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. It is time to reveal that simple remedy I mentioned at the very beginning of our explainer.
So what is it? What is this simple, almost magical ingredient that can have such a big impact on your blood sugar after a meal?
It's apple cider vinegar. Yep, that same stuff you probably have sitting in your pantry right now. It can be an absolute game changer. Now, the crucial part is how it works. The active ingredient in there is something called acetic acid. What this does is it basically tells your stomach to slow down. It slows the rate at which your stomach empties its contents into your intestines. And if your food is leaving your stomach more slowly, then the sugar from that food is also entering your bloodstream much more slowly and steadily. No more sharp, sudden spike. And the method could not be any simpler. All you have to do is mix about half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water and drink it a little while before your main meal. That is all it takes to put that powerful slowing effect into action. Okay, but before you run to the kitchen and start chugging vinegar, it is absolutely essential to use this remedy correctly and safely. So let's talk about the smart way to work this into your routine. 3 very, very important points here. First, always dilute it in water. Never drink it straight. It's an acid and it can be tough on your tooth enamel and your throat. Second, if you already have issues with things like acid reflux, just be cautious and see how your body handles it. And third, and this is the most important one, if you are on any medication, especially for diabetes, talk to your doctor before you start this. This is about being smart and safe. You know, this really brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. Of course, medication has its place, but with a condition like diabetes, the choices you make every single day, what you eat, how you move, these simple habits you adopt, they are truly your most powerful form of medicine. So after hearing all of this, the question really isn't whether you can make a change, but which one you're going to start with. Is it going to be having a salad before your meal, doing a few of those soleus push-ups, or maybe trying that half spoonful of ACV? The power to improve your health is in your hands, and it can start with just one small step.